All right, y'all. Now check it out. Thought I'd give y'all my prediction on these two great heavyweight matchup fights we got coming next Saturday, August 16th. That's Dillian Whyte versus Moses Itauma, and we got Hrgovic versus David Adeleye. Now, Moses Itauma, Dillian Whyte, main event. All four of these heavyweights, they can hit hard. You know, heavy hitters, all four of these heavyweights. Now, I want to give y'all my prediction on the first fight, which is the main event. We got Moses Itauma versus Dillian Whyte. You know who I'm basically going with and who I feel like, gonna win this fight, who should win this fight, and you know how this fight should, are probably gonna go. You know what I see. Now, we got Dillian Whyte. Most of the time of fighting him, they choose Dillian Whyte next to be most of the time an opponent next because they wanted to find somebody that they feel like can give most of the time some rounds, because he been wiping through everybody, knocking everybody out. So they said, let's put Dillian Whyte in the ring and see how long he can last in there with Dillian Whyte. You know, see how if Dillian Whyte can go the whole 12th round with him, which I don't think he can. I don't think, I don't see that happening. I think um I think most of the time is gonna probably KO Dillian Whyte between the 8th and 10th rounds. And that's enough rounds, you know, for most of the time. They want him to box a little bit, gain a little bit of experience. And they think that Dillian Whyte can, last in there. I don't know if they feel like maybe Dillian Whyte can last the whole 12 rounds, but I feel like he's gonna get knocked out. He's been knocked out 3 times. He got 3 losses on his record. His last fight, was in December when he fought the Ebenezer guy, right? Was in December last year. 3 losses on his record. Lost to Tyson Fury, and he lost to Alexander Povetkin, and he lost to Anthony Joshua. And all 3 of those losses came by knockout, and they was body shots. All 3 of them dropped him, stopped him with a body shot. Now, what I see in this fight happening is, because I'm a little concerned about, when Dillian Whyte land, a powerful punch flush on most of the time, if he can, how most of the time is going to take that power from Dillian Whyte. Can he stand it, And this is what this fight is about too, testing most of the time a chin, you know. So what I see happening is most of the time I'm bouncing in and out with the offense, the speed, very fast hands. And I can see him stopping Dillian Whyte um, off a combination or a body shot, you know? So that's the way I see this fight going. I'm going with most of the timer. I think it's going to be by stoppage, but the fight can go the whole round. The fight can go the full 12 rounds, and then it can go to, a decision. It can go to the cards. And we can't we can't just X Dillian Whyte out, you know, like he's not gonna like he got no chance of winning. This is a heavyweight fight. And anything can happen in a heavyweight fight. All it take is one punch. Now, Hrgovic versus David Adeleye. I think this fight, both of these guys gonna be in there swinging for the fences. And it's hard to tell who have the most power, between Hrgovic and David Adeleye, you know. Um Hrgovic, he can box. He can box and somewhat have an IQ. I rate his IQ. It really don't come down to, well, in heavyweight boxing, you got to have an IQ, but it's not about skills. Like some heavyweights have skills, some of them don't. It's not, you got to have an IQ, but Hrgovic, when it come down to the offense, his radar is high. Y'all get what I'm saying? The offense, his IQ is high. Easy to hit. Easy to hit. David Adeleye, he's gonna be moving around a lot. He like to move around a lot. A lot of movement. A lot of movement. But Hrgovic have to go after this guy and apply pressure. He can't be letting this guy move around, teeing off on him, right? But I feel like this fight is gonna turn into a brawl. Who have the most power? I don't know. Hrgovic punches look more heavier than David Adeleye. And I feel like somebody, just like in the Dillian Whyte fight most of the time, somebody gonna get stopped in this fight too, but I don't know who it's gonna be. The thing with Hrgovic, he could gas out. And I hope he don't gas out. Hope he don't gas out. But David Adeleye, he because Hrgovic gassed out against Daniel Duval, right? David Adeleye, he got knocked out by Wardley, right? Fabio Wardley. I don't even understand how he even ended up in that fight with Fabio Wardley. And he probably shouldn't took that fight with Fabio Wardley. I think he took it too early in his career, being in a ring with somebody like Fabio Wardley, But who I'm going with in this fight, I'm basically a fan of Hrgovic. I give y'all updates on Hrgovic, a lot of updates on Hrgovic. So, of course, I'm going to roll with Hrgovic. I see Hrgovic winning this fight, stopping David Adeleye, or if it go to the cards, he should be able to get the decision, but he got to be aggressive. He have to be ready to thump. If you ain't ready to go the full fight, be ready to stop this guy, So I think Hrgovic going to pull it off. This is my prediction for both fights. Y'all know on this channel, I got a very high prediction rate. I'm at like 98% or something like that, being right with my predictions. But if I'm wrong, I'm going to take it on the chin. But I'm going to check out to the next one, y'all. Like, comment, and subscribe. Brass Knuckle Boxing, I'm gone.